I'm Victoria O'Brien, Firearms spokesperson and candidate for New Lynn for New Conservative. The changes to our firearms laws in this country that were introduced post March 15th last year were all done in an emotional climate of fear and uncertainty created by a heinous massacre. What that did was to affect the lives of hundreds of thousands of New Zealanders who had their legal property taken away from them. This is property that they worked hard for, that they saved for, stored legally, used lawfully, and then was prohibited overnight. Subsequent to the first set of changes, Orders in Council decided simply by an executive of the government were able to ban certain types of ammunition and more firearms after the first tranche. These are transgressions of fundamental rights, or rights that we would consider as fundamental for New Zealanders. As a result, New Conservative seeks to completely repeal those two pieces of legislation and restore the Arms Act to its original intent, which is to license fit and proper individuals to own and use firearms. Important pieces of legislation that affect hundreds of thousands of New Zealanders' livelihoods and way of life should be put through a set of referenda. As a result, New Conservative has Binding Citizens Initiated Referenda as one of its key democracy platforms. This would give New Zealanders much greater say in how we live our lives. At present, the power of Parliament is completely unfettered. This will mean that 61 MPs in Parliament can decide anything they want. And we have no say at present. The power of Parliament is supreme. New Conservative will have legislative standards policies introduced, an act which will restrain the power of Parliament. This will enable all legislation, past and future, to be tested against the Magna Carta and the 1688 Bill of Rights, two fundamental platforms for our legislative framework already in place. This will also mean that government departments cannot simply enact policies and regulation without any consultation, which will also lead to smaller government. That's the Firearms and Democracy platforms for New Conservative.